much.
Cahill and Taoiseach, I'd like to welcome you here today. It's good to have the opportunity to make a few brief points. Over the years, it has been the Taoiseach of the day who's prevented this House performing to its potential. Now, there's no question Fianna Fáil have most of the blame in that regard, having been in government most times. So it is unique that you're here. It's unprecedented in my time here for a Taoiseach to give 2 hours to this. And I do believe, as somebody who was someone who subjected you to often intemperate criticism throughout this debate, for which I'm sure no offence was taken, but indeed if it was, I wholeheartedly apologise to you. Can I say that, again, not wanting to be repetitive, many people have mentioned a number of the issues. Apart from a broader reform agenda, and I support the leader's suggestion in terms of a broader look at what's possible, what should be done and so on, a few very brief points that can be done immediately. I think it would be pioneering to relax the whip in this House, and it would pose a challenge to all parties, but I believe it would be a very, very good thing to do. The second thing, EU legislation in terms of its scrutiny, in terms of the opportunity that's afforded to Parliament now as a result of the Lisbon Treaty to take a view on legislation when it's at its embryonic stage. Ireland has only taken that opportunity once. In some 180 pieces of legislation, in some 480 submissions made by other parliaments in the EU. We have done it once. This House could do that, it ought to do that, it should do that. There's no reason why it can't. Be the first Taoiseach to allow the House perform to its potential. You've got a great leader there, has been said already, and I have no doubt, on top of the measures that he's already introduced to increase the relevance and operating efficiency of this House, allow him to do that. I think it would serve this country well. There are 67 pages of proposed legislation on the EU Commission's legislative programme. 67 pages. The set piece is the civil servants here agree with the civil servants there, and all of a sudden we have a directive to transpose that we can do very little on in terms of what it will do in legislation. So let's do that. Finally, the scrutiny of all public appointments is something that we could embrace. And I feel that that should be done. Finally, can I say that on the broader reform agenda, I think in Ireland we have a great sense of community, but we have no sense of state. And we have no sense of state, I believe, because the people cannot identify with a national policy platform forum, because their representatives in the Dáil or the Seanad are strangled by the whip system, where Parliament is subservient to the Taoiseach and executive of the day. That needs to change. Today is not a day for that, but I believe that's the challenge. And I want to conclude just by saying, and I'm sharing my time with Senator Thomas Byrne, if that's okay. Taoiseach, just to conclude, you have a great opportunity. You have a great opportunity. There should be a minute left. Yeah. You have a great opportunity, and I think everybody in this House would support you in your endeavours to allow reform to happen where no Taoiseach before has been prepared to do that. Thank you. Yeah.